Hi, what's up? We're in the next part. Please go check out the previous parts to gauge your bearings. In the last part, I was speaking about how my mom has recently just come out of a space where she shot herself in the foot and she got really sick. As a result, she got bronchitis. It is now recovered because she was busy trying to afflict me using food, and that meant that food was also not taken off her table because she was busy eating silly sandwiches from Woolies and they were not feeding her fully. All right, and then she got sick because she was no longer getting all the nutrients she needs, so her immune system caved in. Ultimately, I gave her counsel to eat again because that's the only way that she's going to get better. She did get better, so much better in fact that she was even with energy enough to cook again. And by the time she cooked again, she cooked a very colorful meal, very colorful, as in rice my mom's starches usually are just like kipap injalo, rice injalo, but this time around she knew the benefit of veggies and she hooked up a little bit of a multicolored rice. Okay, absolutely adored the food. It was long awaited, long longed for, because my mother cooks really well, but that whole thing that she did ended up hurting her more than it hurt me, and then I ended up being the one to help her back on her feet again. And upon realizing that she's been helped back on her feet again, she did not go back to messing with food again because she knew. And she still knows that Haka is at that thing. Next time, it's going to be such a severe super bug in her, since she already recovered from another bug, that it might not even be treatable by antibiotics. She has cancelled her medical aid and has gone on a hospital plan. And I pretty much warned her low key that, like, proper, you're going to end up with Helen Joseph if you don't take care of yourself. So if you don't want to go to a public hospital, which I have miraculously managed to avoid over almost 10 years of having no medical aid, then you're gonna eat for your body so you don't have to be admitted into a public hospital. That's what's good. She paid for her services cash. She paid for the doctor cash, and medical and her prescription she also paid for it cash. I was like, yeah, you might be able to afford a prescription cash when they provide you medication, but there are certain things that only a hospital can cater to you. Not a hospital, but what do they call this? Only medical aid can pay for things like radiology, like if you need to have x-rays done and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that you're gonna have to pay for out of pocket, and it can run you into the thousands of rands, if not tens of thousands of rands. And if you don't have medical aid, you're gonna have to settle for a public hospital. So type establishment thing. Very well. Now, since my mom is scared out of her mind to have to indeed find herself queuing for hours on end, go barra or whatever, she took the advice, and so now she's cooking again properly and she's doing things handling in light of food. So I don't imagine that food is going to be an issue. Praise the Lord. I don't imagine that food is going to be an issue going forward. She tried to make us eat bland food that has got no color. She said that, now that she's retiring, there's not going to be much food on the table. She's using these things to intimidate me. She's acting as if though she's going to have absolutely zero rent. And besides that, I have given counsel and made mention of the fact that we can make money without going into 9-to-5 corporates. Plus, who in the world trusts corporate anyway? Okay, who? Because you can't be moral and work in corporate for the rest of your life, because you gotta keep on bending the rules and whatnot and displeasing the Lord of the universe. So I was taken out of there likely for those reasons. And now that I'm out, I'm like, hey, hello, God has given me counsel. He has enabled me to discover certain things. How about we try what God is doing in my life? And then bang fa grief. Well, after having the altercation is such a heavy word, but the sorrowed disagreement with my mother over Tabari, I've been reduced to a domestic servant all over again. Like after I helped you to get better and what have you, she's now coming at me got Wi-Fi because she knows that this is the way that I'm making money. She wants me to have taken away from me everything that I use to have leverage. Basically, she wants to take away my leverage. And right now my leverage is the fact that I no longer need her for basic things like tampons. I no longer need her for basic things like roll on. I can get everything of what I need, and it has also gone on to improve the quality of my skin. Look at my texture, right? Because I'm on that retinol game now. You get my point? Yeah. Very well. So granted that these are issues that I am facing, my mother has then gone on right ahead to concoct a brand spanking new way to sin. Indeed, as it is written in Romans 1, that these people go on to invent new ways to sin. So in them trying to innovate these brand spanking new innovations to sin, came up with an idea to wreak havoc in Wi-Fi. In the same way that wreaking havoc in food hurt my mom, so too is wreaking havoc in Wi-Fi hurting her. My little sister, during the time when food was an issue in the house, sparsely scattered. When I'm very busy, I take her own little everything, like her own pita bread, her own cream cheese, her own, and making these like her own things. And I told you, I spoke, I explained, I described what under heaven it is that my little sister did to survive. So she's the one here that has the job, so she doesn't have to struggle with my mom not cooking. Well, it hit me, and so God hit them every single time. And these people try to hit me. God hits them worse than me. I survived during that season because there's always a contingency plan that the Lord went before in advance to give me. And then I am all elevated in health at the height of their calamity. And that's what makes them stop. Well, she stopped cooking and buying the food that was healthy for us, like fruits and vegetables and muesli. She just stopped one day, and it made her super sick. Okay, yeah, she did that, and it got her sick. Like I said, I, however, was maintained with my drinks that I take. When I say my drinks, y'all have seen my drinks. I've got this power drink that I make every morning, a shake that has got all manner and kinds of superfood like ingredients in it. It's got fenugreek, it's got chia seeds, it's got moringa, it has got ginger, it has got hemp, it's got green tea, it has got hibiscus. It's like, yeah, I drink it, boo. It's like a shot. And hey guys, I'm here. Like what? Nah. The other day I was showing you my hair. Okay, you've seen how my hair grows. So really, if something that you're taking or you're eating is growing your hair, then you know that it's doing very well for your body, because the hair is the last place that your nutrients go to. Because frankly, first they have to go to your heart, first they have to go to your lungs, first they have to go to your thighs, your uterus, your womb, your fertility, your skin. And then once, all the other parts of your body have been fed by nutrients, then only will the nutrients decide to grow your hair. So my hair is growing violently, saying that everywhere else I'm good. My heart here, brain here. You get it, okay? Very well. I was catered to in that season. Plus, guys, my drink is so impactful and powerful that even when I'm fasting, so I'm only eating like once a day, still the hair doesn't grow. That's how jam-packed my drink is. I was kept in the pink of health, but my mom's health is the one that tanked. My little sister is, I can't really say she's sickly, but she's got a respiratory problem, in the sense that ever since I have basically known my sister, which is all of her life, she's always been very coughy. Whether it's summer or winter, she's always like, ah. You'll always hear her coughing it up a storm. I know that she went on a inhaler very early on in her life. My mom has got asthma, so I think that's what's going on with my little sister. But it's not so horrible that I could say that my sister has health issues. She doesn't. She's still young. She's only 22. But she definitely coughs a lot more than the regular man or woman on the street. Okay, she does have a respiratory challenge. Don't know what it is, can't really pinpoint it, likely been diagnosed. My sister is she's always on some cough mixture. She's always drinking that, all right? And so I think it has everything to do with her inheriting my mom's respiratory challenges, because my mom's got asthma and she's had it all her life. And you know how they say it skips a generation? Well, my little sister unfortunately got it. I don't have it, neither does my older sister, but my little sister was born 17 years after me, who is the middle kid. So maybe that counts as a generation. I don't know. I have a cousin who also has asthma, and her dad doesn't have it, but my mom has it. But they come from the same mom. My uncle is my grandmother's kid, as is my mother. So maybe that's where that's coming from. Now that I've mentioned it, I've got a sickly, I can't say she's sickly, but she definitely is more coffee than the left and on the right. She's similar to my cousin, or Onangle asthma. Right, so these are human beings, basically. Long story short, I'm trying to explain to you guys that can't afford to mess with their immune systems. She's only 22 years. She coughs every so often like a man with emphysema. She's always coughing, and the cough just never leaves. It never leaves. Don't know what that's about. I sometimes wish I could help her to never ever cough like that. Anyway, whatever. And she doesn't smoke, and I'm grateful. But my cousin Onazuba gets away there, right? Very well. So given that my little sister has got an immunocompromised system from birth, and my mom similarly too, she does have a comorbidity called asthma, but she's lived all the way to 64 and still kicking, right? So it's possible to thrive, that's what I'm saying, while you have a respiratory issue. But you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta. I mean, not everybody be out there in these streets with a pink of health like Caravo. I'm healthy, guys. Anyway, not everybody is blessed with the ability to never ever have to see a doctor after an entire decade has progressed. Okay, my sibling is not that girl, neither is my mom that girl. So please eat your fruits and your vegetables and go to the gym if you possibly can. Just take care of yourself, because you got comorbidities going on with you. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, with my little sister, frankly, it is congenital. It has to be, because she's always been like this. It's from birth that she's had this issue. Yeah, here are these people that have got congenital issues. that they have got to supplement with lifestyles that are healthy, and they are not only walking in a grand amount of diabolicalism, so they're just like flat out evil. That can kill your health, like that can decimate you. Being evil, it don't help. You be getting out here in these streets like falling apart from a heart attack because you're plotting murder. Like, stop. Yeah, no, wickedness, hatred of God is in and of itself a comorbidity. I kid you not, it can kill you quickly. So there's the evil issue first and foremost, and then there is the concern with the congenital issues that you do have by birth. And then you decide to stop eating carrots and oranges and apples. My little sister kept on buying the avocado, lily, whatnot. Maybe that's why she was kept safe, but also because she's young. My baby sister is just a meager 22 years of age, so her youth helped. However, she's still currently coughing like a geriatric, but she nonetheless did not get mowed to the ground by bronchitis. And there's a good thing that during the season of my mom's absolute being slewn to the ground, she was out there in these streets doing whatever else. She was far away from my mom. She wasn't here to catch it. That was a relief, okay? But you can't not take care of yourself when you are older, you know, and that came back to bite them in the general behind. Well, the Lord has always done stuff like that in my family when they get out of line, when they go so extreme in their insanity and their persecution of me that frankly I can't breathe, I can't live, I can't do anything to be me. When things get too extreme and I start to think that God doesn't care, then he messes up their ecosystem so that they can just stop doing what they're doing. And with my mom, she got bronchitis, so she stopped with the food issue. But here it is that we're dealing with a Romans 1 conglomerate, always brand spanking new, inviting novice ways to sin, always inventing new ways to sin. Like, that's what they describe them as. They invent new ways to sin. So my mother was like, okay, so nobody wants bronchitis, it hurts, we vomit, and frankly we don't want to die yet because we're not even sure if we're going to heaven, because I'm pretty sure my mom is scared about what's going to happen to her when she dies, but she doesn't want to repent anyway. Whatever. So let's try something else. Let's try something else on this Karabo person. Like, and make it belong to God. Stop it. But they won't, right? Yeah. And then she's like, Wi-Fi. She then goes on right ahead and severs Wi-Fi. Guys, Wi-Fi, I told you, my heart sank when I discovered after finding out from that conversation. So the Lord went before. Now that the bump, the hump and the bump of the bronchitis has come and gone, we now are dealing with yet another thing that's going to sever me from the world and break the living daylights out of my heart. And it does not have to go. Just as the food did not have to go, neither does the Wi-Fi have to go. There are things that my mom can cut, and also because my little sister is also employed and my older sister is currently embarking on a new opportunity, they can help one another along, hold hands with this. My mom, there is no incentive in her to keep Netflix going if she can't keep watching Netflix. She's the one that is paying a Netflix subscription. She took it over from my older sister who was going through a temporary season of struggling. Okay, so my mom would then sever Netflix if there's no Wi-Fi in the house, meaning that even my older sister would not have subscription to Wi-Fi, not Wi-Fi but Netflix, where she's staying in Sandton. Labantu bayahlanya right now. Do you see the insanity going on here? It's diabolical. It's a circus. It's like Tortuga in the movie Pirates of the Caribbean. Just this town where everybody does what they want because it's the whole of the law. Like, no order, no law, just the purge. And I'm like, stop purging. But they're purging. They're out in these streets thinking crime is legal for 1 day a year, except for them, it's 365 days a year. What are you doing? Like, stop purging. You live among a saint of the living God that keeps on praying for you, fasting. Appreciate that. Get down on your knees, like literally worship the King of the universe, because he's protected you, because he's preserving Karabo. Collateral benefit of a saint is what you're gaining, because my prayers are helping you, but then you hit me because I'm beneficial. Repent. Allow yourselves to be exorcised. Hey, let the demon be exited out of you. Let it scream and say, we are many, we are legion, what do you want with us? And then go into the pigs and enter into the ocean and be no more. Like, my goodness, save yourselves from this impending demise that is clear upon you. Shame. Uguhida. For what? For who? For mahana family. Like that song. That's how they feel. When you lament and you complain, they be thinking you like, okay, fine, very well. So if that's what we're out here in these streets doing, then we're going to continue to invent new ways to sin. So my mother decides to sever Wi-Fi, but in the run-up to July, because I believe there's still going to be a month coming, so there's still going to be internet. And I have confirmed that because my little sister made a call. I spoke about that earlier. They are surprised as I am right now with the fact that internet is not working, because it was not supposed to be like this yet. There's 1 more month left. But in that month, the Lord went before. Hore, month e kaofela, so that this month does not all of it come and go, with them unable to foresee what their lives are going to look like once it is once and for all cancelled. Because it is going to become a very difficult thing to re-embark on, and also likely embarrassing to get Wi-Fi again after getting rid of it. This is what's going to be your life. So like I said, I went to the bathroom in the house shortly before doing this video, or the one prior to this one, and it was dead quiet in the house. There is no DSTV because my mom would likely have planned to reinstall it by the end of July, but she didn't do it, so it's quiet. My mother has gotten herself spoiled, accustomed to Netflix, and also just access to the internet freely. At work, she uses work internet, but that's gonna end because she is retiring. Right? Another thing that I try to get my mom to do is buy herself her own laptop. I don't know if she's done that, because she's really going to miss having a computer. Like, you know, when you lack wisdom, like, you need to go and grab wisdom from where it is that the Lord has magnified it bountifully. I do not know how much my mom's Wi-Fi costs, but I'm pretty sure that she can get a cheaper version. That is better counsel. To get a cheaper version that does what it has been done all along. It's not like, oh, we Mohai do anything heavy duty with the internet. We don't do severe things like downloads a lot. Okay, I upload videos like on YouTube, but I'm happy to sleep overnight while it uploads. So even if internet speeds are not that fast, insofar as you can be able to stream on Netflix, insofar as you can be able to watch a full video on YouTube without it buffering, then you're good to go. So you can afford to get an internet that has got slower speeds, but it does the job. And there are service providers that are fighting for chunks of the market, portions of the market, that are happy to give you even a relatively well-operational, well-functioning Wi-Fi without the glitches and the twitches that you would get. It's a high quality, but it's currently going at a low price because they're trying to establish themselves in the market. Like, research cheaper versions of Wi-Fi. Interrogate the community, the neighborhood of people who have Wi-Fi. It's likely almost every household in this complex. Ask them questions. Guys, how much do you pay for Wi-Fi? Like, for instance, with solar panels. My mother did that same research. She asked in the complex other people who have it that have been approved by the body corporate to get solar panels, and she was able to then, gauge whether or not she should buy this one or that, and then finally she got this one. And I do believe that it is from the same company that one of our neighbors have also gotten in. So at the council of 2 or 3 witnesses, a matter is established. Ask around. Ask around. The first time you got it, you just went on, wrapped on with Vodacom. And Vodacom is the most expensive telecommunications network provider in the country. Well, I mean, you don't have to go with Telkom anymore. Frankly, not Telkom, but Vodacom. I, frankly, am a big advocate of Telkom Mobile because their prices are reasonable and they've got relatively good services. Do you understand? So you can ask Telkom. You can, I hate MTN because they hurt me, but you can also ask them. You can ask all these other independents, what's going on, what's good. And then, therefore, likely chop off a good maybe 600 or 700 rands from the price that you currently pay for Wi-Fi. That is what is wise. Not to just sever it altogether. You imagine that it would be cheaper for DSTV to be reconnected so you can have entertainment, but can you imagine having nothing but DSTV after you've had the glory of Netflix? Can you imagine a life of not being able to Google as you desire? Be able to do your internet banking on your computer or on your cell phone, but you gotta, goodness, even just looking forward to guzzling your data, constantly checking how much Wi-Fi you have, like pressing in those pins, star, hashtag, whatnot, just to find out how much airtime you have. Like, who is still doing that anymore? Especially when you have at the glory of Wi-Fi. How much do I have before I'm fully depleted? You cannot just buy your own data bundles and imagine that you're going to be cool to look at 1 or 2 or 3 photos on Instagram of a friend and then not be able to do more else. You're also going to miss Netflix. Everybody is going to miss Netflix. My older sister, my younger sister, my mom. I'm trying to get off it because it's like a bad drug. Everybody's gonna miss YouTube. You get my point. This is an essential, just like water and electricity. There are ways around it, and on top of that, you have got 2 daughters who are working, even though it is a travesty that your 3rd daughter is not working. And one of them is a generational Z kid that for the life of her has been made a junkie of social media from the womb. She has only ever grown up in age. She's only ever grown up in the technological age. So after you endure her, or rather bless her with the luxury of Wi-Fi and then take it away, she's going to twitch and glitch and not know whether she's coming or going. So since she's got a job, she can afford to part ways with 200 or 300 rands a month from her salary to come together and conjoin hands with you in paying for Wi-Fi that has been sliced in half by a network provider that is cheaper than Vodacom. That is good counsel. And you are likely going to find a neighbor or two here in the complex that has got such cheap Wi-Fi that you're going to wonder why under heaven you have been paying all this much for Vodacom. That's what's wise. My mother knows that, however, she's not dumb. You know why? Because she did the same thing when it came to solar panels. She did her research and finally ended up taking a solution that a neighbor gave her counsel concerning. So why is she not doing the same thing with Wi-Fi? Why is she settling for DSTV, the cheapest package? Why? Why under heaven is she settling for that? Well, the Lord God Almighty went before because he adores me. And he caused the internet to glitch and twitch and do a strange thing so that my mother and my little sister would feel what life would be like without Wi-Fi, and what life would be like with you having to buy data bundles and keep on pressing star hashtag whatnot in order to find out how much you have before it's completely depleted. My mother and my little sister are being made to experience a household with no Wi-Fi, and Miss Survivor sitting over here out here in these streets, always just kind of conquering the darkness that is about me. I don't have luxuries in my life, and I know how to survive without them. I'm able to have a far better existence right now, even during this situation. That was a power cut. That's what you were looking at. But now, of course, the solar panels came back, intervened. Amen. Yeah, no, I know how to survive harsh conditions. And this is evidence of them. I'm surviving even this season of there being a technical issue with the Wi-Fi. I'm surviving it in a way that they aren't. I come from being inside the house and it is still quiet. It is dead quiet. Both of them are home. Both of them are home. And the house is so eerie and so quiet. There's no warmth. Like, technology has gotten us used to hearing sounds of TVs going on and off. When you live in a household where you're always cooking healthy, beautiful meals every night, and then you stop cooking, then the smell of food, the scent, the fragrance of food in the sky is no longer there for people to be blessed by. That which they got used to is no longer there. So you're tearing down your own household. So first she took away the scent of good food, but now that's coming back. However, now she is bringing quietness, extreme solitude and silence in the house, where people are forced to just kind of scroll around on their phones and then go to bed early. You're taking away your own joy. That's what's good. And God has given them this entire weekend, and a weekend represents pretty much a time when you're not really working and all you do all day long is waste time on the internet. And this weekend has no internet at all for all of us. And they're feeling it. They're feeling it. It is Antarctic. Yabanda. How is my mother supposed to survive without Netflix? She might be thinking DSTV will help, but don't nobody go back to DSTV after they've experienced Netflix. Plus, Netflix is not all that internet gives you. There's Googling, there's internet banking, there is research, there is YouTube, you get my point. And they think they can hook up data bundles for that. Like, my little sister would much rather spend 2, 3, 4, maybe even 100 rands on airtime a month, rather than take that money, give it to my mom, the two of them put together their little monies and purchase a monthly Wi-Fi service that is cheaper than the one that they're currently working with. That's what getting counsel from 2 or 3 witnesses does for you. It makes you make a wise decision, but a foolish woman tears down her own household. So now what's happening is that I'm busy out in these streets asking God to get me so much money, like such a bountiful amount of a lump sum, that I would be able to buy Wi-Fi for the household for all of the year. Not because I'm spazzing or glitching or twitching from the absence of Wi-Fi, but because I've got to give people a message of understanding in the run-up to the rapture, and that's very important work. And so the Lord will bless that. But is the Lord going to make me pay for Wi-Fi? I guess when these people are literally in a position to provide it, but they decide not to because they know it's going to hurt me. I heard my mom speaking to my cousin on the phone saying that they must not bill me at Vodacom anymore because this is the last month that I am paying them. From now on, everyone is every man for themselves. Everybody is going to have to find their own way to get Wi-Fi. And my evil cousin, the same one that caused my mother to stop cooking, the same one that caused my mother to stop buying fruit and muesli and whatnot, and basically famished me, that same cousin was like, this cousin knows that if Wi-Fi gets cut, I don't upload videos on YouTube anymore. Everybody is in on it for me. They are gunning for my life. As this cousin, she has given my mom such poor counsel. And she went on right ahead and agreed with my mother that I guess if Wi-Fi is not there, Wi-Fi is not there. Except my mother's going to be so depressed and miserable without it. And so too will my little sister. My little sister is telling herself, hi, well, I guess I'll keep buying my data bundles. Are you serious, little girl? Generational Z. Generation Z. You Gen Z, you. Are you serious that you are going to be content with living in a house now after being made to live in the floodgates that are yawning, gawking, pouring out water into your life of Wi-Fi? Now you're content with going back to data bundles? Are you for real? Oh, sure. Well, why not like a TikTok bundle when you have been made to get used to searching whatever you want on the internet to a point of even streaming a Netflix show while you're working from home? All the best. All the best. Tswelang pele and see if God does not bring some version of bronchitis, but this time around with Wi-Fi. And it's here. It's cold, it's freezing, and they're acting as if though it's feasible to carry on like this. I need Wi-Fi, I won't lie, but I can survive without it in the way that I have explained in the prior parts. They won't be able to do what I do. Plus, they are going to feel like they're too legit to quit to do something like that. That's the thing, a lack of humility. They won't survive this. But they're trying. Next part.